How are you, Joey?
Good. Friday, I'm in jiu-jitsu. I walk out the door. I got no calls. I get in the car. I start the car. And all of a sudden, I get a call from a dear friend. And when I answered, she was crying. And I knew right there what she was crying about because she spoke to Ralphie all the time. It was his longtime friend and publicist, Stacy Pocaludo. And, I came up with Stacy, and I heard her crying, and I knew right away. And I drove home. You called at one point. The phone started ringing. She told me not to say nothing because the family didn't know yet. But then it was too late. By the time I got home, TMZ had released it, and then the phone started ringing. And I just sat there fucking confused. I didn't know. I couldn't put the pieces together. I called my wife. She was at Target. She fucking lost it. My wife loved him to death. He gave us a crib. We didn't ask him for a fucking crib. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to give you something for the baby. And all of a sudden, fucking UPS is knocking on the door with a fucking crib that's worth $10,000 with buttons. And it was just, so I knew it was going to kill her. He knew what she liked, the southern shit that they grew up on.
Yeah.
So, she was crying about that the other day. He's the only one who knew what mud pies were or some shit, But it was even sad. And then the calls started coming in from all over. I called my brother George, who was walking into our grandmother's wake.
Oh, God.
And I go, you ready? I go, I even got worse news for you, George. Ralphie's gone. And, he called me on later at that night. He was dealing with his grandmother's fucking death. And all of a sudden I piled Ralphie on him. And I felt bad after I did it, but I didn't want him to hear it somewhere.
Yeah, you had to.
I called my friend Pete in Houston, who was a dear friend of Ralphie's, Pete Pirelli. Did you ever get to meet Pete Pirelli? People don't like him. I loved him to death. He was one of the first guys that headlined me, and he loved Ralphie. And that's how it went down. Friday was basically just a shock. And then Friday night was when it got worse. A little when I started realizing what was going on when Ari called and Josh Wolf called late night. And I had spoken to Josh that afternoon after it happened. He was upset, and next thing you know, fucking Sarah Tiana called, and I tried to butter her up and tell her, don't worry, I got that edible for you. And that's what stopped her from crying. And then Saturday, I had to do kid stuff, and every once in a while I would realize, for people who have experienced death before, and a lot of you have, it's a magnitude of emotion, and then you go numb, and then time is the healer. Whatever in levels, you get better in levels, but the number one thing is coming to grips with it. Like, my body and mind still haven't come, because I wouldn't talk to him sometimes for 4 days of the shot. So my body's just, he was supposed to come into LA last week. The plan was for him to come in LA last week. If you looked at the Comedy Store on Tuesday, he had a spot at the store Tuesday night.
Wow.
So we were going to try to do the podcast Wednesday, and then he was going to fly back because he was going to get the Comedian of the Year. So when I went, I didn't think about him coming in. I assume he's doing the podcast Wednesday. So when I went to the store Tuesday night, when you're at the store, you go down there, who wants to take a picture? You bump into somebody you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you get in your car without knowing. I got here at 6:30 today without my bag. I came sometimes you have so much on your mind.
Absolutely.
And I got in the car and headed up Laurel Canyon, and next thing you know, when I get to the house, I'm laying in bed with the sleep apnea mask on. I'm like, wait a second.
But I forget.
I didn't see Ralphie tonight. So the first thing Wednesday morning, I called just to make sure. I didn't know if he had the kids, Tuesday, and then he went over or something. And he said no, that he didn't feel well. He had the pneumonia. But he had a different angle to him. I could always make him laugh. And on this day, I couldn't make him laugh. Something wasn't right. And I hung up on him. I didn't think nothing odd. I just thought maybe he'd be having a bad day.